everyone. Sorry I couldn't join the demo live due to time zone issues. Today I would like to showcase ZrcLib, which is an open source SDK for developers to easily build private token primitives. So the reason for building this ZrcLib is to help developers that don't have a background and zero knowledge to still easily build private DeFi primitives. The structure of the open source library is that we have a Solidity SDK, which have all the smart contracts such as a shielded pool, which developers could just inherit from, and also the TypeScript SDK that handles all the client-side proof generation, management of the deposit node, etc. So we have a few templates on the Solidity side. For example, ZRC20, which is essentially just ERC20 but private. We also support non-fungible tokens, ERC1155, but also private. The actual shielded pool contracts, and Defiant pool is an extension which could help increase censorship resistance. On the client side, we handle all the zero-knowledge proof generation, the management of the Merkle tree, and the encrypted UTXO store, which is the local storage on the user's browser to manage the deposit node and the key pair, etc. So some of the features that we have include a multi-asset shielded pool, meaning we could support any token type inside the shielded pool, inside the same shielded pool, and essentially share the same anonymity set. So for example, we could have ERC20, ERC721, ERC1155, and this help increases the anonymity set and is more useful for long-tailed assets to achieve the privacy of a mixer. So how it actually works is that each UTXO, which is the deposit node, contains a few fields such as the asset ID, the amount, the blending, which is just random values, and the public key of the owner. So each time there's an internal transfer, we two UTXO, join and split them into two other output UTXO. Okay, and we have this zero-knowledge circle that we have, and essentially each deposit node is just a form of commitment, which is a hash of the amount, the public key, the binding, and the asset type. And another feature that we have is a privacy protected swap. So when you have a tokens inside the shielded pool, we have this feature that allows you to swap to another tokens completely private. So the flow is that the users would generate a proof to unshield this token, and use a relayer to actually execute the swap on an external DEX like Uniswap and reshield back the tokens to the shielded pool. All of this happens in one single transaction, so it's atomic. How it works is that the users would define some of the parameters, such as the minimum amount of the output, the swap recipient, the swap router that wants to use, and pass this data to the relayer, where the relayer could call the swap executor contract and execute the swap on behalf of the users. So let's take a look at the live demo. Before that, I would like to showcase the library that we built. Essentially, if you look at the README, we have different stuff such as creating a private account, helping generate a proof to deposit into a shielded pool, also generating a proof to do a transfer within the shielded pool, and as you can see, everything just takes a few lines of code. And in the examples directory, you could look at some of the example applications that we have built, including a private stablecoin and a private wallet that supports this multi-asset shielded pool. So more detail about how to integrate the SDK can be seen here. Okay, let's take a look at the demo of the private wallet. So essentially, when we connect a wallet, you could see that we'll need to put in a password. So this creates a private account for the users, and we just need to sign a message to do that. So once assigned, we have a private account, and we have a public-facing wallet and a private-facing wallet. So everything in the public account can be seen through a block explorer, can be monitored. Every interaction with the private tab is completely private to the user themselves. So first of all, let's mint some tokens, test tokens. Once it's minted, we can see that we have now have 10 DAI. All right. So we have 10 DAI, but no LUSD, and on the private tab, we don't have anything. So let's shield some of these tokens to be private. And when we are shielding, we are essentially making it into the shielded pool, and subsequent transactions will be private. So first of all, we need to approve it. Once that's done, we generate the zero knowledge proof on the client side to help deposit into the shooter. So it only takes a few seconds, and we actually pass the zero knowledge proof to the smart contract for verification. So once that's done, we could see that we have no more DAI in the public account where everything is moved to the private account. And let's demo another feature that we have, which is a atomic swap within this private account. So let's say we want to swap from 10 DAI to 10 LUSD. Okay, let's swap it. And what happens is that we generate two zero knowledge proof for a swap. First one to the proof to reissue these tokens after the swap, and the second one to unsure this token when we first want to put this tokens into the public account for the external DEX. So as you can see, the proof is pretty quick as well, just a few seconds. And when we have the proof, then we submit this proof for verification on the smart contract side. Okay, once that is done, you could see that the 10 DAI has been converted to 10 LUSD. And all of this happened within the private account, and the users can protect its privacy. Thank you very much. Hope you guys can check out this repository and give us any feedback. Thanks.